Hello? Hello?
Testing.
Testing.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Check.
1, 2, check. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Greetings. Everybody. And when I say everybody, especially you. And welcome. Welcome everyone. One. And all. And all to this. To what? My first and probably only ever.
Yes.
Podcast.
Oh, what?
I'm not really sure what a podcast is, to be honest, but what I do know is that we're going to have a jolly good time. A good time.
We're gonna have a jolly good
time.
We're gonna have a jolly good We're gonna have a jolly good a very good time.
Alright, come in.
Thank you.
Put your shoes on.
Yep.
So, the best way to enjoy this podcast is by a fire.
Yeah.
It's been designed especially for comfort and to relax and to zen, to get to planet Zen. So if you can light your fires while you listen, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Great.
And if you haven't got a fire,
Yeah.
like if you're not outside or you're by a fire
Yeah.
in a living room, what you can do is if you go to YouTube,
Yeah.
type in
Yeah.
https
S.
over dot slash YouTube youtu.be.
Yeah.
So that's https://youtube.b/capital L
Yeah.
_ capital L, capital U, small p, small n, small j, small g, capital P, small s, small o. Click that.
Yeah.
Just do it with you, so we're doing it together.
Lovely.
And then, fingers crossed, hey presto,
Yeah.
you should have a fire. You should have a fireplace on your, fireplace. There, has that worked? There you go, mine's lit now.
Yeah.
Fireplace. Or you can just go to your Earl bar, where you type in your stuff, your Earl, and just type in fireplace, and then you've got, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 fires to pick your own.
Yeah.
I personally like the second one down, which is fireplace 10 hours full HD.
Some are blurry.
Fireplace HD resolution. 10 hours of burning logs on a loop.
Some are blurry though.
So, if you've got your fires lit now,
Yeah, it's a bit blurry.
and have you got some tea?
Yeah.
Some tea or a hot chocolate or a Horlicks or a wine or whatever makes you feel nice?
Well, tea makes me feel nice.
have I got one?
I hope so.
What have I got?
Tea. I've just made us one.
Why?
Because we like tea. Especially PG Tips.
I do actually.
McDonald's does the best tea. Did you know that?
But could be classed as some sort of procrastination,
There is this
couldn't it?
to be said about tea because
Procrastination.
the amount of times I'll sit down to do something
Putting things off.
and I'll just go, do you know what? Let's do this with tea.
But then making the tea, is that not an act? That's an act in itself. It's an action. So it's a doing. So it's a step into the right direction.
Yes.
I think the only time that you should get worried in this life is if you go into like I like to meditate now, believe it or not. I like to meditate while I do yoga.
Yeah.
But every now and then I think, I'm just sat here doing nothing, really, at the end of the day. But it depends what part of your brain you're coming from while you're in, because you shouldn't have, there shouldn't be a part of your brain that tells you that you're not doing anything while you sat meditating, because the whole reason to meditate is to get rid of the little voices that say you're not doing anything. Does that make sense?
It does. And tea's good for you.
Good.
So,
In fact, funnily enough, the fire that I've picked for my YouTube background, if you stare at it for a while, the flames every like 17 seconds form the words Ross.
it's true.
Honestly.
True.
So anyway, about 3 weeks ago, I was in a lovely part of London. I don't know whether you're familiar with London.
Yes-ish.
You are, that's good. Well, I was in, where was I?
Where?
I should know, because I used to live there. Muswell Hill.
Oh, yes.
So Muswell Hill's a very lovely area.
Dennis
And I
Nielsen
was
used
sat
to
in the
live
Gales, restaurant. Well, it's not a restaurant. Whatever it is. Gale's. Is it a coffee shop? Gale's coffee shop.
Dennis Nielsen
Sells
used to live...
croissants and buns and coffee, obviously. And I was sat in Gale's having a
Dennis Nielsen
lovely
used
catch up with a friend who I've not seen for a long time, and he said to me, he strongly advised to me, gave me some words of advice, and he said,
What?
Ross, I think you should do a podcast. Now, I've been thinking of doing a podcast now since they came out. And I think podcasts came out a long time ago. I can remember thinking, why has nobody called one an oddcast?
Yeah.
Because if I was to do a podcast, it'd be Ross Lee's Oddcast.
Oddcast, good.
And nobody's done it yet, the idiots. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll call this my Oddcast.
We have.
But anyway, he said, why don't you do a podcast? And I said, I think you're right. I think the time is now right for me to do a podcast.
Yeah.
To do a podcast. To do a podcast. Yeah. And funnily enough, I've just moved into an attic in the area of Dollis Hill, which is also a very lovely area of London, if you're familiar with it.
I am familiar with it, yeah, but can I just say, Dennis Nielsen used to live at Muswell Hill, where you used to live.
So, yeah, Dollis Hill. So, for the last 3 weeks, I've been sat making lots of tea,
Procrastinating.
thinking about this, and wondering what to talk about. What is it that people want to listen to? What is it that people would like to actively participate and join in with, so we can have a good old hoo-ha and put the world to rights? And I just couldn't think. There's things that I like, but I don't think we should always be talking about things that we like, otherwise it'll just be me sat here telling you what I like. Well, I like Haribo Star Mix.
I like Alice Cooper.
Well, I like Chinese takeaways.
I like Aerosmith.
Well, I like fresh air, and I like to look at my feet when I'm walking.
My legs more.
No, yes, my legs. I like to look at my legs when I'm walking.
I love looking at my legs.
I'm very lucky.
When I'm walking, I look at my...
Very lucky indeed.
I look at my legs and I think, look.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I just think at the end of the day, I've got these legs.
Yeah.
And you've not, unless you have. If you have got my legs, enjoy them. You might be listening to this in 2084 and I might be frozen in ice cryogenically, and maybe you've taken my legs out to thaw. Make sure you put them back before they melt.
Thor's a very popular DC character.
Or keep a toe and turn it into an ice pop.
Thor's very popular, isn't it? I was never really into Thor as a child. I liked the Avengers and I liked the Fantastic Four. In fact, the Avengers is nothing to do with DC. I think the Avengers is John Steed, isn't it? The English actor, and Diana Rigg. I liked the Fantastic Four. I really, really loved the Incredible Hulk.
Oh yes.
I mean, it was the Hulk that started it all off for me, changed my life.
Mum sat me down when I was 4 and
I was watching it with my mum.
Yeah, not Thor, 4, and we watched it.
My mum.
And at the end, Mum made me cry.
Yeah, my mum.
Because she went, oh.
Yeah, she did.
Nobody loves the Hulk.
Yeah, my mum, and I cried. My mum made me cry.
No one loves the Hulk.
The Hulk joining forces with my mum. My mum and Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. Nobody loves the Hulk, Ross.
Gave me the passport to emotions at the age of 4. Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno goes running off and she went, he was only trying to do good. And I was like, well, why does nobody like him then? I don't understand. But anyway, let's get back to... no, just pause for 1 second. Tea. Ah, that's better. It's only warm now, though. I only like tea if it's like boiling hot or freezing cold. I'm not a fan of it in the middle. So like I was saying, I'm just going to turn the crickets down a second. Hang on, let me just turn down the crickets.
Sorry, crickets, I'm not interested.
Just going to turn down the crickets.
No. Sorry, crickets.
Turn down the crickets.
No. Not interested.
But what I am interested... That's better. What I am interested in is entertaining and enthralling and entertaining you. And I haven't seen you for ages. I haven't spoke to you in ages. It's been far too long. I apologise. It takes me back to what I was saying earlier about the procrastination with the tea. It's like I spend so much time now living in the now, living in the present moment. It took me a long time to get here. It took me a few like personal life disasters, call it what you will, spiritual interventions,
possession, all of these things have led me now to be on the path of experiencing the wonder that is the power of now. And I'm not going to claim to be the new Eckhart Tolle or anything, but I can certainly point you in a few directions to put you in a better place, so that every time that you leave the house, you're still at home. Does that make sense? You're leaving the house, but you still feel safe, as though you were still under the bosom of your roof. I like that. At home. I like that. Everybody loves their bosom roof. When you're at home, you feel safe and you feel good, especially if you're still lucky enough to have your family around you. But imagine leaving the house and being anywhere, going swimming. Oh, can we have the crickets back, please? Thank you. That's better. Going swimming, but yet you still feel like you're at home. Well, that's what I can deliver. I think those are the goods. But anyway, let's get back to the topic of today's podcast, which is what we were wondering, cheeky bastard. What we were wondering what we would talk about. Yes, what shall we? One of the things that I personally am into talking about, which always gets other people interested as well, is the subject of the paranormal, the subject of the supernatural. Well, this flat, actually, I said earlier that I'd just moved to an attic in Dollis Hill. There's been a lot of supernatural affairs going on here, let me tell you that. I've always wanted to live in an attic. It's been the dream. I've had a romantic idea that to be in an attic looking out at the moon while you paint and create would be the ideal, but well, it is. Well, I'm not sure. Is it? I don't know, because why? I can afford the attic. I've got the attic now, but I can't afford the rest of the house. So I'm in a shared house at the top in the attic, whereas there's 5 other tenants. What? Who? 5. Not 5. 5. One of my teeth. Yeah. One of my tooth. Your teeth. One of my teeth? Yeah, one of my that's correct, sorry. One of my teeth. Yeah. The left one, the left front incisor. It's a cap, it's a veneer. And I was chopping heads off about 5 years ago now outside London Bridge, chopping off the heads of the tourists for fun. Yeah. For their fun, not my fun. They'd pay, actually, would they pay? It was to get into a tourist attraction, so I'd round up people outside. Yeah. Hey, roll up! Oh, we're going to cut your head off! Are you ready to go back in time 2,000 years to a land of the bubonic plague and disaster? You're good. Samuel Pepys and the fire of London and the plague. Good. Oh, you're good. I had to do that from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. I wanted to kill myself. I was good, actually, although I didn't actually like the chopping off of the people's heads, because the guillotine was an old trick, an old magic trick. Illusion. And it started to catch ladies' necks. Flesh. If they had like fat necks. And men. Flesh. If they had fat necks. Fat flesh. The stocks were starting to trap and pinch the flesh of the people as they were leaving. They were polite and everything, like, oh yes, thank you, that's lovely. But they were actually in genuine pain. Yeah. And I did feel bad. But anyway, where was I? Why am I telling you about me chopping heads off outside London Bridge? They're all bleeding, the shoulders. The reason why I'm telling you that I used to chop heads off outside London Bridge, I got no idea. I honestly don't know where I am. I think I'll have a tea break and I just need to go back and I just need to listen to what the hell it is that I was actually talking about. Alright. PG tips. You know, McDonald's does the best tea. I don't know why. Tetley's is nice. Oh, right, okay, so here we are. What? So I moved to this attic in Dollis Hill, and it's there's five. I can't say 5. I can't say 5 because of my teeth or my tooth. I can't say 5 because of my tooth. Oh, that's what I was saying. So I was chopping heads off. Yes. I was chopping heads off. Clunk. And I saw some people that I recognise over the road who I don't think they particularly liked me, but I mean, I like everybody. Well, I used to say that, and I used to believe that, whereas if I think about it more and more, I'm sort of going off people, but I think it's my age, or I'm starting to become my dad. I don't really know, but anyway, I ran over the road and I was being nice to these people. Yeah. And I grinded my teeth together. I don't know why, whether that was out of excitement or the fact that I was having to pretend to like these people. I don't know, but I ground my teeth together. Yeah. And I snapped my left teeth. I snapped my left tooth. My left tooth veneer cap. Oh, well. So that's not going to help. It's not going to help with the acting career, I don't think. I definitely need to get my teeth sorted out.
Well, why didn't you?
Could you
Why don't you?
Could you not play a pirate?
Why don't you get your teeth
You could play pirates and you could play crackheads. So there's 5 other people that live in this block of flats, and when I first moved in, the chap that lived at the bottom there tried to give me a kitten as a present, which was nice, but a bit weird. It was a bit weird, especially when the kitten ran off in the back garden. That was a very strange time. What's going on? Can we have some more crickets, please? Can we turn on the crickets? Turn on the crickets. Hi, crickets. How are you today? Yeah, so this man tried to give me a kitten, right? I was in the shed. Well, it's more of a summer house, actually. The one thing that really attracted me to the attic was the fact that I also get this shed in the garden. But that's come with its problems, because there's no electricity. Now, in summer, it's lovely because it's too hot to even go in the shed. You go in armed with your paintbrush and you put your acrylic on, and then you have to leave after 5 minutes because it's so hot. But once it turned November, I couldn't go into the shed because it was too cold, and all my pictures, which I'd glue tacked to the side of the walls, had sort of peeled off and gone damp and a bit moisty. And I was so upset, and I actually went into the shed one night and I slept in there, and when I woke up I was greeted by a dead fat rat outside on the porch, and I took a photograph of the rat and I sent it to my ex-girlfriend, and I don't know why. But anyway, so she didn't like it, because basically what had happened was I said, oh my god, because we get on really well, but I said, you won't believe what was on my porch step this morning, and I just sent the picture of the dead fat rat, and I didn't look at it, well, I'm lying, you did. I did look at it, and I actually zoomed in, and it was amazing, but disgusting. That's the best way to put it. Disgusting and amazing. Eye-opening and mouth-closing. It's like everywhere that you pinched and looked around the picture, you pinched in, you don't want to pinch a dead rat, but if you pinched on the dead rat, on this fat dead rat, you pinched into the thing. It was a work of art, but it was also a work of hell, if that makes sense, because it was clever, but absolutely not clever. I mean, there was like little worms coming out of everywhere, and it was black inside. It wasn't red, it was slimy black with these little... Anyway, that's another story. I'll save that for my my nature episode. Mother Nature. We'll do an episode on Mother Nature. That's a good idea. But anyway, I've also had other problems. Like, even on my first day when I moved in, there was a man waiting for me in my new kitchen, and as I was unpacking all my forks and my cutlery and my kettle plugs and weird things that I shouldn't have packed in the kettle bag, like cuddly toys and crisps, socks, he tapped on my window and he went, Raz, 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 Raz. Raz, Raz.
Yes, my name is... and I see you are wearing a crucifix around your neck, but Jesus is whispering into my ear right now, and he's telling me you do not take it seriously. You do not take it seriously, and I tell you now, if you do not change your ways, Ross, you're going to hell. You're going to hell.
That's exactly how he spoke. It scared me to death, to be honest with you, and I actually had to turn around at one point later in the day and say, the reason why I've moved into an attic is because I don't want to be disturbed by anybody. That told him. He's gone. He got kicked out. He actually asked me if I'd put some money in my bank for him. He needed to put some money in my bank. Weird. So that I don't know, but I just thought, oh, ridiculous. Anyway, it just doesn't end there. No, because when I first moved in, I'd got no heating, I'd got no hot water, and the neighbours next door are breeding, I don't know what they're breeding, some sort of dog. I presume it's Rottweiler, but I'm not sure. I can't really see. I can see that they get looked after better than what we do. They've got these kettles they've got kennels. Dogs don't drink tea. 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 Dogs don't. But they should. I think they'd like it if they did. They'd like it. Anyway, so they're breeding these dogs and they start barking at 4:30 every morning. 4:30 and 7:30 a.m. And one of them's got a really annoying bark. It sounds more like a chicken that's voice is breaking, like a teenager chicken. And it goes... It's got really crap annoying bark. I hate it. There's an old Asian lady that's moved in downstairs that knocked on my door in a red robe only 2 nights ago. Bright red robe.
Said, Russ, the man below you. I see him dancing in the drive at 3 a.m. and shouting obscenities through my letterbox, and if he doesn't stop, I'm gonna call the police, so you'd better have a word with him.
Now, I quite like him, because he cooks me dinner from time to time. Some sort of, what did he cook me the other day? Orca. I've never heard of it before. I was like, are you winding me up? It looked like seaweed or some sort of sea monsters thing. But anyway, so I don't know who to believe. Is he really terrorising this lady at 3 a.m? Or is it the drugs? Or are they both crazy? Am I safe? Am I even safe with these dogs and these people that have obviously... I don't think they should be here. I don't think I should be here. But hey ho, such is life. This is what we've got to play with. So this is where we are. This is now, ladies and gentlemen. Not now. Not in the past. Now. Because now is all we have. We've lost the... Can we turn on the crickets? Hello. Turn on the crickets. You look lovely, crickets. Get down with the crickets. So I've had my distractions and what have you, but we're here now, and that's all that matters. Doesn't matter when it is. So long as we're in action, and we're in action now, then we're laughing. And it's time to discuss today's topic of this podcast. And after lots of umming and ahhing, we decided that we're going to talk about the supernatural. What is the supernatural? What is the supernatural? Well, it would be very easy for me now just to read the definition of the word supernatural from Wikipedia on Google and say that the meaning of the word supernatural is of or relating to an order of existence beyond the visible observational universe. But, that would be the easy way out, not the supernatural way out. So let's take the supernatural way out and ask again, what is the supernatural? What is the supernatural? What is the supernatural? Well, I'm supernatural and you're supernatural. We're all supernatural. But listen, you're not Bob. No. Or Sue. No. You're not Jim. I'm not Jim. Or John. No, I'm not. They're just names. What's names that? Chosen by your parents. Yes. When you were just a baby supernatural. Yeah. And names are just words. Yeah. And words are just sounds. Yeah. And sounds are just vibrations. Oh. Your voice that you can hear every time you speak is just a very small flesh violin in your neck. And if you could see the strings up really close, you'd see that they're just like guitar strings, but made of flesh, like pepperami flesh strings. And what you can hear now is just the plucking of my very own flesh pepperami. Now let's just think about the night creatures for a bit. Night creatures are things that live at night. Think about the night creatures for a bit. They only come out at night, or the things that we can't see in the observational universe, that thing. You're thinking about the night creatures. I am thinking about the night creatures, and I'm also thinking, what is thought? Well, thought is just like the wind. You can't see it, but it blows you in all sorts of directions. I wrote that bit. Do you like it? It's very clever. Just that bit. Just wrote that bit. The wind is like thought. It blows you in all sorts of directions. That's the only thing I've written for this podcast. It's clever. Preparing. Everything else is just coming off my... Well, it's just an idea. It's just my thought. I'm just thinking it through. Like, for instance, the wind doesn't think things through. It just blows your pants off the line without thinking. Ignorant bastard wind. But anyway, we're going to talk about the wind in another episode. When I do an episode all about the wind. Sorry, where was I? Oh yes, I was just thinking about where I was. And where am I? What is thought? Yeah, it's here and it's gone. Thought, here and gone. Here, now, here, gone. Here, like everything else. Here, gone. The fat dead rat. Yeah, gone. It's not there anymore. It's gone. It's just an idea now. It was here. But I know it's there because I've got photographic evidence. And if you want me to send you a picture of the rat, which is amazing, unbelievable, it's like it just goes to show that Mother Nature is so clever and so sick. So if you want me to send you a picture of the rat, just drop me a DM. Is that what they say? I think that's what they say. But what is speech? It's nothing but flesh violins, isn't it? And oxygen pumped from the stomach. You know, it's also oxygen. Correct. What is? Well, your voice is air, isn't it? It's just air, really, coming out. I mean, you may as well. You could actually get. You could just put loads of string flesh pepper. Well, we're losing our way, aren't we? Are we losing our way? Yeah, we've lost a lot of listeners now. Okay, well, let's get back on track. It's in the oxygen that we find a lot of the supernatural, as well as things that aren't supernatural. Like, you get midges and flies in the air. But think about midges for a second. I'm not a fan of midges. Some midges are really, really tiny, but you know that they're there, don't you? Because they go in your eyes, they go in your ears. You know they're there. But what if I was to tell you now that there are midges, right? There are midges out there that are actually 10 to 15 times smaller than the smallest midge.
That's a very tiny midge.
And you're swallowing all of these tiny midges without even realising it.
Idiots.
And what's to say that there isn't a midge the same size as a human, but their chemistry kind of works backwards to ours? The science of the... Oh, for God's sake, will you turn the cockroaches back on?
Hello, cockroaches. You look very pretty today.
So... Every time I see a seagull, I shout, "Hello, Grandma! Grandma!" Because she did say that she'd come back as one, and I believe her. In fact, it was my grandma that taught me to paint. But dreams are very supernatural, aren't they? Where do you see in your dreams? What is it that you're looking at? With which eye? Where's it coming from? Projected from what? I mean, your eyes are closed, darting around in REM, but where are you? You're there in a strange new world. Now, many people are saying that we see our dreams through our pineal glands, our third eye, but that's a whole other subject, which I'm going to save for my Egyptian episode.
Lovely.
But lots of people are saying that toothpaste dumbs down the pineal gland, and actually, this is the real reason why my teeth are all buggered.
Well, it's not, is it?
Well, they won't be buggered for much longer, though, will they? Because
Ukrill.
I'm using Ukrill now, which is brilliant stuff.
Really good stuff.
Although it does get everywhere. In your hair, everywhere. It's a good job it's pink.
It is.
I've had it on my trousers when I've gone out to meet people, and they've gone, "What's that?" And I've gone, "Oh, it's just Ukrill." It's a good job it's not white. If it was white, they'd probably think I'd been sniffing. But drugs, funnily enough, drugs are very supernatural, and I'm going to save that drug chat for my drug episode.
Yeah, save it.
But drugs do open doors to other worlds, and
dangerous worlds.
Some are very dangerous, and the ticket price is a little more than what you'd pay to get into Thorpe Park.
Yeah, in the end.
But if you want to shake hands with a ghost, then swallow your poison and inject yourself and be my guest, but don't say I didn't warn you. But there's far safer ways to see the supernatural, but not as effective. Drugs are also illegal. So what we have to remember, above everything, at the end of the day, it's all a game. It's all just a silly game. Everything. You name it. Everything's a game. Just a silly game. A confusing game. Stupid game. A scary game. Fun game. Challenging. Very at times, this game of life. Do you know there's nothing more mischievous poltergeists love than a challenging game? True. And usually, unfortunately, true, that challenging game is you. And what people don't realise is our vessels that we call our home, our bodies, yeah, we're lucky to have them. They're such easy vehicles for the mischievous poltergeists to take over and possess and control and manipulate. It happens a lot if you let them. Of course, that's the key, that's the secret. You don't have to let them in. Be aware. You must acknowledge that they are there. Hello. And then once that they know that you know that they're there, I know. You're not just having them on, that you actually know that they're there. They're going to be in you fast, quicker than you can say Star Trek or Bob's Your Uncle. They might be in you now. They probably are. We're full of them, you know. I think there's one in me. Always one. A creative ghost. I've got my creative ghost in me. And my creative ghost, it's nice, it's telling me that it's time for me to go. And you, because I've been rabbiting on at you now non-stop for 28 minutes and 28 seconds. I hope you've learned stuff. If it had been 11 minutes and 11 seconds, I'd have got excited, but I'm going to... Because that's a whole other subject, is the magic of numbers. You know, when I was at school, when I was at pre-SOP school, I detested maths. I couldn't stand it. It used to make me feel sick, the thought of going to sit in that classroom and do I can't even say... I don't know what they were called. Fractions and percentages. But now I just think that maths is magical. It's like everything is math. Everything. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. All that crap. It's amazing. But listen, and some of maths doesn't add up. I've got to go now. Because I've been chatting for 29 minutes and no, that's deja vu. That's something. That's another topic. You know, I think I'm onto something with this podcast. I think we could go on forever. Infinity. There you go. That's another one. We could cover infinity on another thing. But listen, I've got to go now. But in reality, in supernatural reality, I haven't gone anywhere because I haven't even been. Because nothing's real. We're all just vibrations. You see, even the cockroaches were just a sound effect. And what's a sound effect? Just vibrations. I don't know how that works. I don't know how a computer created audio sample piece is vibrations. I'm sorry, I just don't understand. I don't understand the supernatural. I don't understand the paranormal. Maybe a little bit. My mum had a book called Witchcraft and Demonology, the Encyclopedia of, which I used to have sneaky peeks at when I was a kid. There's all these old ladies running around in circles in the nude. Look, the only reason why I'm here, really, is just to let you know that you're going to be alright.